Well, good morning, everybody. This is DearMamaSal on a beautiful Monday morning. It is 17 degrees already here in southern British Columbia in Canada, and that would make it 62, translated into American. It's just a beautiful looking day. Yay! Now, I was talking to people over the weekend about the fact that I've noticed that the light is changing. I don't know if any of you have noticed that as well, those of you who live in 4 seasons instead of 2. But I can already start feeling those days shortening up a little bit. And that's means we're heading into fall. Pity. I sort of like summer. I've spent very little time outside this summer. Surprisingly little. But it is what it is. I'm hoping that you all had a great weekend. And I like on a Monday to sort of do a wrap-up of things from my weekend. And first of all, we opened up the broadcasts on Fridays, and for those of you who don't know, we do 2 broadcasts on Fridays, and now everybody's welcome to them. And if you look below here, you're going to find the links to my webpage, blog page, which is DearMamaSal.com, and you're going to, if you look at the right hand side of that web page, you'll see the links and the times. Now, I might not have had a chance to say that both the Friday broadcasts are open, but they are going to be open again as of now. We really had fun. We met a new visitor on Friday. Violet came in to join us from Arizona. I may say I remember that. Surprised myself. And so it's always nice to meet a new peep. So welcome, Violet, and I'm hoping that you will enjoy it. I also noticed that a lot of new people have come in, and I'm not quite on the Instagram and other places, so welcome to everybody who hasn't viewed before, and thank you so much. Just to let you know very quickly that I do sort of Monday to Thursday vlogs driving on my way to work, and then I sort of broadcast over the weekends, and I take Saturday off because I deserve it. Mind you, people will tell you that even though I take Saturday off, I normally find some video if I can. So that's what we do. And for those of you who don't know who we are, we're a group of people who care. We try and look after one another as an extended family, but also look after other people who may be going through a tough time and need more support. And we like that. We like that we do that. We've got people from all over the world, and we're very grateful to have them. We're heading into our 3rd anniversary. That'll be on the 25th of this month. And it's just amazing how close we are to getting to 450,000 views, which is really quite mind-blowing to me. I think I really expected maybe we get 2,000 when this started. All right, let's get on with this. We are now a couple of days away only from my going off to Vlogger Fair, which is the sort of collection of YouTubers that gets held in Seattle. And I went last year and had really a lot of fun. There's nothing quite like going to an event and getting lots of hugs. You know, I'm a hugger, so I really love that. And I just love being able to meet some of the viewers that I wouldn't normally meet. And what always impresses me is that when I go to these things, I meet viewers that I don't necessarily know about. they're not the ones that write comments a lot of the time. They are just viewers. And they get so excited. And it's such fun. So I'm really looking forward to it. And it's a different program this year. It's 2 days. It's 1 day of creator type stuff, and then the second day is sort of the meet and greet type stuff. So looking forward to it. And if you're not already going, you might want to think about it if you're in that area. So Saturday I went to a barbecue, and it was the barbecue of the event that I do every January when I'm working with young people. And it was great because I got to re-meet a friend from way back, and she has lost 150 pounds, if you can believe it. And it's just amazing the way that she looks. Now, she didn't do it in a fun way, I need to tell you. She had an operation that went wrong and caused her incredible pain and incredible difficulties. And she spent quite a bit of her time on morphine, and then of course had to get weaned off that, which was a terrible experience. But what I've decided to do is, because her story is so interesting, and all that happened to her and how she overcame everything, what I've decided to do is interview her so that you guys can hear her story. And hopefully some of you will relate to parts of her story and understand that there is hope and there is life. And she is still in the process of rebuilding her life. But it's an amazing story. So it was an absolute delight to be able to sit with her and listen to her. And just know what was going on. It was just wonderful. Nice memories, as you can gather. All right, so, and then yesterday we did, we did another broadcast. I'm trying to remember whether anything substantial happened in there. I mean, I say substantial, but we know that Alice is on her way to America from Denmark, so bon voyage to Alice. She'll be leaving on Wednesday. So hopefully she will have a really good trip. And she's away, I think, for a couple of weeks at least. I know she told me, but I can't remember. I got a feeling she's back at the beginning of September sometime. So very exciting stuff. Nana's all set up in her new house, and already had her first barbecue with the neighbors, so that's great. It sounds like they're very social, which is always nice to have in a community. It just sounds like it's really, they do bridge and exercise together, and they have a pool, and so there are a lot of things that really make living there apparently a lot of fun. So I'm delighted for Rick and Nana and hope that they have many, many happy years there. I didn't get a lot achieved at home this weekend. Let me think why. I know I had a lot of emails and comments that I seem to spend a lot of time on. And also, it was difficult for me to try and balance everything this weekend, knowing that I'm going to be away. I will go to work on Thursday and then go directly down to Benji and Judy's on Thursday after work, and then we will get on together. So it's going to be a short week for me mentally. It means I got to pack again. I can do that. All right, I did have a request. One of the broadcast viewers, regular broadcast viewers, asked me to talk about empathy and how to stop being too empathetic. Now, first of all, some people are just naturally more empathetic than others. Some of you just feel things more than others. And it's difficult to describe that to somebody who doesn't feel a lot of empathy. So those of you who do, you know what I'm talking about. So the question I got asked is, how do you stop it affecting you so much? Now, the viewer concerned is extremely empathetic, and therefore some of you will relate to this. She was saying that she can feel somebody else's pain before they even talk about it. Now, I relate to that, so I understand. I understand that. So I can only talk from my own experience on this one, and hopefully this will help to some degree. It's like anything else in life, if I can word it this way. You know, we always say, it's not what happens to you, it's how you react to what happens to you. So if you overreact to things, then what you have is an overreaction, and life is not much fun. If things happen to you and you can say it is what it is, and I just need to deal with it and not overreact to it, then you are in a lot less stress. Now, the same thing is true about feeling somebody's pain. What I actually said was, it's not a case of feeling less empathy, because you can't. If you're empathetic, you're empathetic. What it's about is setting the boundary as to how much you're going to get sucked in with by it. And, you know, this was a big part of my life. I got sucked into all sorts of feelings, especially as I'm inclined to be slightly psychic at times. More than slightly at sometimes. And so, you know, I could get affected a great deal by vibrations, by what was going on. And so I remember once having dinner with a Chinese hypnotist type guy. He was a guest in my house, and he said to me, he said, you must really waste a lot of your energy. And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. And he said, because you don't have many bound filters to your mind. And that shocked me. I didn't know that I didn't. And he said, you know, you're an open book. So that made me think a little bit about just how much I allowed other people's stuff to control my day. And how much I allowed things over which I had absolutely no control to control my day and to change my life. And I realized that part of the reason I'd spent so much of my time in depression, and I did, was because I was constantly feeling everybody else's stuff, and feeling I need to help people, and feeling I needed to fix people, and feeling, you know, yeah, right. I really did. So this whole thing about put down the boundary isn't about don't have empathy. Putting down the boundary is about control how much you give of you. control how much it invades your space and your mind. So, for example, I don't know if any of you remember, but there was that situation when I was down in Anaheim where I got a letter that I shared with the people in the house. I shared it with Benji and Judy and everybody else because it was such an incredibly sad letter. And Judy said to me, how do you cope with that every day? How do you cope with getting emails like that? And I said, what I do is I deal with, first of all I read them and I feel the pain. Then I think about them because I don't want to give a glib answer. I want to make sure I give an answer that is thought out as best I can. But once I have given the answer, I let it go. I don't constantly worry myself about this person. Occasionally I will actually write back and find out how they're doing or do something like that. But really, it's a boundary. It's like I cannot afford to let every single email I get, and most of them are pretty tragic, I must say, to affect me, because then I won't be available for the next person. So it's not that I am not empathetic and that I don't care. It's about I have to do that to be able to remain sane. So the way I do it is literally to stop myself. And if I find myself thinking about it too much, I will actually tell myself, okay, that's enough of that. You cannot afford to concentrate on that anymore. You need to get on with your life, not somebody else's. So in a way, what you have to do is you have to talk to yourself pretty sternly. And I like to think of it almost that I'm talking to my inner child, because I think it is that childlike part of ourselves that feels the need to try and do so much or to feel so much. And as an adult, I realize I cannot do that. So I'm pretty sure that I've got a lot of very empathetic people as viewers, because that's what I think the common denominator is. We all care, and we all care in different ways. Now, I know some of you are going to say, well, I just don't let it affect me. So I think what I'd like to do is to get different viewpoints from you as to how you don't let it affect you. What do you do? And try not to just glibly say, well, I just don't. Now think about it. What do you do? What do you say to yourself? What actions do you take? What do you do? Let's try and help those people who haven't got those boundaries in their head yet, to put up some walls. Not negative walls, but self-protection walls. Well, of course, the moment I came to this part of the construction, they stopped us. We got a very dramatic flag person here, but some very interesting hand signals. And from the way they are doing their hand signals, you can almost hear the words that are going through their head. And they're not polite words. Lordy, lordy. What can I say? It's amazing what you can tell by somebody's body language, right? Okay, they've really rerouted the whole road here. So I have no idea where I'm meant to go. I can do this. Let me just not panic. Alright, so I'm hoping that you all have a wonderful day, and I'm hoping that you all understand that how much life affects us is our responsibility, not somebody else's. And if you find that you are being too heavily affected by things, you might want to get some help with that. I like to think that I did this all by myself, but quite honestly, I did get a lot of help along the way, because I realized there were a lot of things that were troubling me that were recurring time and time again, and therefore if I didn't get some help with it, it was going to carry on for the rest of my life, because obviously I had not learnt the skills to cope with them. And I think that is the saddest part about some of these things, that we are not taught those coping skills early enough, especially for those of us who had damaged childhood situations, who in some way were damaged in their development by some trauma. And so I really always encourage people, get the help, whatever help you can. And it depends what country you're in as to how much help you can get, obviously. All right, everybody. So for those of you who are new, watch the end of the video here, because it'll give you an idea of what we're up to. And for those of you who are regulars, thank you so much for being there. And know that it is appreciated. And for all of you who are the core group, and you know who you are, as we rock into our 3rd anniversary, know that we wouldn't have got here without you guys keeping me together. And I'm certain that you do know that. And I really appreciate those of you who remind me about things, and for those of you who, genuinely care about my well-being. And I'm glad that so many of you laughed about the boiled eggs video. Yvonne and I had a lot of fun with it, and we will do more fun things like that in the coming weeks, hopefully. So have a great day, everybody. This is DearMamaSal saying thank you for being there. It's so lonely when I'm just sitting here talking to myself. Bye bye for now.